Western Athletic Conference basketball, and it's here on ESPN+. It's the last of a 4-game homestand to start the year for ACU. They get another great test today. A pair of 2-1 teams on the floor, the Wildcats and the Texas State Bobcats. Welcome here courtside to Abilene Christian Moody Coliseum. Andy Penny alongside the coach, Ron Holmes. Yeah, for Texas State and ACU, 2-1 starts, Coach.
Right.
It's going to be a great 40 minutes today on the floor.
It's going to be a very experienced Texas State team. They're one of the top 5 oldest teams in the nation right now, and of course, Abilene Christian. Golly, they got a lot of freshmen.
Yeah, still trying to build a
Well,
program
they have two,
here.
but they got a lot of inexperience.
And still trying to build a new roster here. Brett Tanner and company, they'll get it again against one of the most mature teams in the country. Coach, let's look at our impact players here today. It's our leading scores for both teams. Leonardo Bettiol at 13.3 a game. Caden Gums off to a great start at 17.5.
Caden Gums just walked across town. He's from San Marcos. He's been a nice surprise. A sophomore, averaging 17 points a game. And then Leo, he's a traditional, old, conventional, back-to-the-basket post player that can shoot threes.
Hey, the third member of our team is courtside. It's Daisy Strine with more. Hey, Daisy.
Thanks, Andy. We've got 2 very different team dynamics on the court here this afternoon. Abilene Christian only has 2 seniors on their roster, mostly freshmen and sophomores, while Texas State, on the other hand, is one of 2 teams in the NCAA with only 2 underclassmen on their roster. They've got 6 fifth-year players, so Abilene Christian's going to have to figure out how to match that seniority. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Daisy. Certainly one of the storylines here today, one of the oldest teams in the NCAA. And Coach Tanner talked about that. We had a chance to talk to him. He said it's an experienced bunch that we're going to see from Texas State today. It's Tylen Pope in the center circle with Cade Horniker as matinee basketball in Abilene is underway. This should be a fun one up and down the floor here for both teams. ACU averaging 88 points a game, 3 games in. Texas State at 79. We anticipate up and down the floor and a lot of points. Keon Williams back in the starting lineup. Did not play versus McMurray on Tuesday, but he is back in the starting lineup. Joseph Vazant, top of the key. He'll pull just inside the 3-point line. An 0 for 2 trip to start.
Nice little start for Cade Horniker. Easy for you to say.
Here's a look at the starting 5 for Texas State. Gums, again, the leading scorer. Ogaro, Drennan, Pope, and Turner. 4 of the 5 for the Bobcats, averaging in double figures scoring. So it's balanced. It's our first foul here. Nazir DeGru, the junior, the guard, the transfer from LSU Eunice, his 2nd year with the Wildcats, pick up the first personal.
He's probably the 2nd quickest Wildcat. He's got the unenviable task of guarding Gums.
And now an offensive foul call. As Christian Turner called for the offensive foul. Turner, the only starter not in double figures. He's at 6.5. Here's a look at the Wildcats starting 5. DeGru, Horniker, Vazant, Hunter Jack Madden, and again Keon Williams back in the starting lineup. Did not play versus McMurray, had a bone bruise. So there's a backdoor cut. Horniker to DeGru, gets the nice soft roll.
And that's really Horniker's grain right there. He's really good with the ball in his hands. Not really offensing it, but making things happen with the pass.
Here comes Pope on the other end, a little backdoor cut, another foul on the Wildcats.
Pretty good help defense.
Yep. Brett Tanner talks about Cade Horniker. He's got the size and he's got the skill. He labeled Leo Bettiol as more of a banger on the inside. He's just going to be physical. He said Horniker's got a nice skill set to go with his size. You see it there on the assist.
You know, Horniker, Cade is you'd almost want to label him as being soft until you bang with him. And he's 250 pounds and he's 7 feet tall. But he does do a lot of really nice things facing the basket. He can play with his back to the basket as well, but Leo is the cream of the crop for the Wildcats.
Here's Tylen Pope at the line, the senior transfer from Nevada. Had a season-high 17 versus TCU on Tuesday. Texas State led the Horned Frogs at halftime in Fort Worth, but could not hang on second half, 5-point deficit. So around the perimeter it goes. DeGru another touch. Keon Williams, his first attack. The floater off the front of the rim. He'll pick it, though, in the backcourt. Lost it right back. The two teams trade turnovers. Chance to run for the Bobcats. Drennan, pass stolen. 3-on-1, DeGrew and Williams. Keon, the jump stop, and the finish.
The Oklahoma State transfer playing like a Power 5 school. Nice job. Strong move, comes off of 2 feet.
Averaging 12 through his first 2 games here in a Wildcat uniform. As Coach mentioned, the transfer from Oklahoma State. Reverse attempt for Pope, left it short off the rim. 2 minutes deep, Wildcats a 4-1 lead.
Pretty active. That's good offense right there. They're looking for the shot.
Entry pass stolen away here. Turner the steal.
Good steal by Turner.
Turner, the senior from Grand Prairie, the transfer from Troy, started his career at Troy. Now in San Marcos. Wild shot, but a foul on the drive, and Caden Gums make his way to the free throw line.
Yeah, where they're deadly. They're shooting 83% for the year as a team. Caden Gums can take you off the dribble, and he is the quickest probably we've seen in Moody Coliseum in quite a while. And he's just a sophomore.
Just a sophomore, the local product out of San Marcos. They'll call that foul on the floor. Vincent, the contact before the layup attempt. So they'll call it on the floor. Bobcats will inbound on the baseline.
Bettiol's in the game now for Honecker.
So Leo will try to get some minutes. There's a foul now. If that's on DeGrew, that's his second.
He got caught on a switch and at the elbow and ended up playing, ended up behind. You know, you come out of a timeout, you better be prepared for anything and play on the inside. Look at the way they are right now. Every Wildcat's on the inside.
So that foul on DeGrew, his second. He'll have to check out early here. As Rich Smith, the 6'4" junior, the transfer from St. Thomas Aquinas College. And Rich, his first action today. Texas State still looks for their first field goal 3 minutes in. Pope, the mismatch. Late whistle and a foul. Already 5 team fouls on ACU. Tylen Pope go back here to the free throw line.
You know, that's the one thing I've noticed about these guys. They're undersized. They're 6'7", is as tall as they go in the starting lineup, but they weigh 240 pounds, and they're long in the tooth. They're experienced.
Pope still perfect at the line on the season. He'll get 2 here, and he makes the first. Again, a season high versus TCU on Tuesday, 17 points. Played his 23-24 season at Nevada. 3 seasons before that at Tulane. He played 80 games for the Green Wave. 19 double-figure games in his career. First miss from the charity stripe all season long.
Yeah, if you're a Bobcat, you just jinxed him. He's not perfect anymore.
The broadcaster jinx coming in early.
Yeah, Sports Illustrated.
And now a whistle, and Pope and Betty all fighting for position on the block. Pope got caught.
You know, you have to be prepared to guard a guy like Bettiol. He's such a busy player. Great feet. Watch his movement.
Madden a drive with a step, jump stop, entry pass. Leo, the little baby hook with the right hand. That's bread and butter. That's trademark Leo Bettiol.
Yeah, that's what we've been talking about. He's conventional back to the basket player. I love that kind of kid.
Brett Tanner, very complimentary of how he plays through contact. There's only one way to guard Leo Bettiol, and it's with contact. And he plays through it well, and he finishes.
I'd double him. I would look to double him.
Here's a drive. Ogaro fouled on the drive, and if that's Vincent, and it is, that's his second. Early foul trouble for the Wildcats.
Well, that's what the Bobcats do really well. They take you off the dribble. That's why they're so proficient at the free throw line. They award, you know, it's one thing to take someone off the dribble to get to the free throw line and not hit and convert, and they're not going to shoot on this one. But you know, you reward yourself.
Braden Hubbard has checked in, the junior college transfer from Tulsa. Dontrez Williams, the freshman, is also in for the Wildcats for the first time. Turner lost the basketball. Smith has it, whistle, timeout awarded to ACU.
Wow, that was a good that was a good scrum right there.
As Brett Tanner awards his defense with a timeout, bodies on the floor. Great help defense. Rich Smith knocks it out, gets possession. Brett Tanner the timeout.
You know what made that happen was the body on the body. ACU traditionally in the years they've not had a D1, but they do now.
30-second timeout has turned into a full break here at Moody Coliseum. ACU off to a nice start. They've got a 4-point lead in Abilene. One field goal attempt thus far, almost 4 minutes deep. They've been to the free throw line 4 times and some foul trouble early here for ACU. But the Wildcats, again, on top by 4. Glad you're with us. Andy Penny alongside the coach, Ron Holmes. As Betty all down on the baseline. There's the double team. Back out around the perimeter. 12 on the shot clock. Williams lost the dribble. Stolen by Drennan.
See, that's the turnover bug that Coach Tanner's talking about. You get into traffic and they run too many hands at you and you try to put the ball on the floor.
And Gums a pull-up jumper, right elbow, falls out no good. And Coach Tanner said, hey, you know, defensively, here we are at 2-1.
Yeah.
But defensively, I feel like we're ahead of where I thought we would be 3 games in. Offensively, too many turnovers. We have to distribute the ball better. A lot to clean up on this offensive end. Hubbard, a look just inside the free throw line.
Yeah, that's too easy. If you're Texas State, you can't live with that right now. Now, Hubbard's a big body. He's probably 250 himself. And that's I think one of the reasons he's getting to play more minutes right now is because they don't take him off the dribble near as much. He brings a weight room.
The JUCO All-American last year at Connor State. Played in the Junior College Final Four a year ago. Extended man-to-man here. Gums, whistle, offensive foul, and it's on Pope. There's a look at Brett Tanner, the head coach of the Wildcats. Brett in his 4th year, 56 and 47.
Which is an amazing record since they're building to a Division I. He's gone through the wars from 2 to 1.
Of course, he's been here all 3 years of the WAC. Took over when the transition from the Southland to the WAC took place. His first year, 25-win season. Betty All down on the baseline, a spin. Double team comes, stripped out of his hands. Chance to run, Gums left side. Williams will contest, blocks it on the glass.
Good block.
Now Smith at the rim,
wow.
Contact and a foul.
Now,
defense to offense. Free throws for the Wildcats.
What I was going to say is the Wildcats are taking it to the Bobcats. Now the Bobcats coming off of that, go ahead.
There's a look again at Brett Tanner. Again in his 4th season, 56 and 57, the 25-win season in his debut campaign with the Wildcats.
Yeah, I don't mind Brett interrupting my train of thought.
Back to you there, Coach.
Yeah, well, ACU's taking it to them. When you and I were here from Middle Tennessee, we saw some of this, but it didn't. I guess it died, but it's been resurrected.
One for 2 trip for Smith. A scoring drought of almost 3 minutes for the Bobcats. Still without their first field goal today. 5.5 minutes deep. Drennan top of the key, kicks to Gums in the corner. Shot fake, step back, 3 in the right corner.
Yeah, that's his game right there. If he's not taking you off the dribble, he spots up for the 3 in the corner.
50% from deep on the year. He shoots 58 from the field. Horniker a touch, back out Keon. Tough drive down the baseline, but blocked. Shot clock does not reset, just 6 on the clock. 3 in the corner, Williams, Dontrez Williams. And here's a look at Terrence Johnson, TJ they like to call him. He's also in his 5th year, 74 and 53. And Yeah, the two-time Sun Belt Coach of the Year already, back-to-back Sun Belt Conference regular season championships to start his debut. Had the injury bug a year ago as Texas State finished 17 and 18.
Hey, Andy, have you noticed all these head coaches are bald? They're skinheads. Tanner and TJ, me.
It's one less thing to worry about, right?
Oh, it's a nice break in the day.
One less responsibility for you guys.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Smith runs the point. Still trying to settle in here, 6.5 off the clock. Got both Bettiol and Horniker on the floor for the Wildcats. They've gone big. And a foul on the inside. Austin Green, who just checked in, the junior forward. Transfer from Pearl River Community College.
You know, if you're a Bobcat right now, you're looking at Horniker and Bettiol in the game at the same time, and that's not in the scout. That's a tough scout right there.
Horniker a look, yep, 15-footer on the baseline. Green will clear. Gums again, the sophomore, the local product from San Marcos. Has started every game in his Texas State career. This is now game number 29. Dribbles through some traffic. 10 on the clock, Green going downhill. Second chance up underneath. That's O'Garo who lost it. Ball's loose again. Madden clears. Here come the Wildcats.
Smith's pretty quick with the ball.
And another turnover here for the Wildcats. That's unforced.
Yeah, that's what Tanner's talking about. That's pretty good defense. They're in recovery mode, if the Bobcats are, Texas State. You know, it's hard for me to call them Texas State, although they've been Texas State for a number of years. They used to be Southwest Texas State.
The name changed the early 2000s.
Beautiful campus.
It is.
Beautiful campus.
They're on Interstate 35. Drennan runs the point this time, the transfer from Navarro. Spin move in the paint, the floater off the mark. And one and done, and a foul. Drennan the foul on Hunter Jack Madden.
Foul call on Texas State on number 55, Drew Drennan. It's his first of the game, team foul number 6.
I feel, Coach, here we are 8 minutes deep, and just the fluidity of this one. It feels just very disjointed 8 minutes in.
Well, I was just getting ready to comment on the pace of the game. Yeah. If there was more scoring, but Texas State only has 5. They're going to have to find a way to do better than that.
Smith with a screen. Williams over to Madden, 8 on the clock. Hunter Jack's first pull from 3 today is too strong. Argaro the run out. Contact, block call. Will continuation go? We'll see. The call on Hunter Jack. They will count the basket. And a 3-point play coming up for Josh O'Garo. Under 12 timeout in Abilene. ACU a 2-point lead.
Welcome back inside Moody Coliseum. It's 9-7 here in the first quarter. Some key transfers to note for the Wildcats this season. Joseph Vincent, the senior guard, transferred from Liberty and started all 36 games there last season. Keon Williams, the junior guard, transferred in from Oklahoma State. And finally, adding some height to the roster, the 7-foot forward Cade Horniker played in 11 games at Southern Illinois. Keep an eye on those guys this afternoon. Andy, back to you.
Horniker from Southern Illinois. Ali Deba, who was here last year, is now at Southern Illinois. So the two trade places. But Cade has been a welcomed addition, his first start for the Wildcats this afternoon.
Well, you have to be a used car salesman how to handle NIL.
Man alive.
We've swapped players.
You know, you used to have to recruit, what, 3-4 players a year? Now it's the entire team. Even the ones that are on your roster, you have to continue to recruit.
It's like you have to have a mixer in August.
Man alive. 9-8 on the scoreboard. The 3-point play finished. O'Garo able to finish, but the Wildcats Keon Williams, his second bucket.
That was a nice, strong move. I don't think ACU's seen a whole lot of that in the last 3 or 4 or 5 years at a forward position, which is going to be their strength this year. It's been guards. They've had great guard play the last 6, 7 years.
Stops a 6-0 run. This one deflected by Smith. 10 on the shot clock. Same can be said for Texas State. It's a roster that's experienced, but you look so many transfers here on their roster.
But I think they're in the second year of their transfer, which is a blessing.
Austin Green right side with a dribble. Hubbard squares him up. Shot clock at 0. Shot clock violation prior to the shot. Great defense, Braden Hubbard.
Yeah, Hubbard brings that 240 pounds and bodies up like that. You can't spin off of him. He's just too daggum strong. But Texas State will find a way because one of the strengths that they have is they're undersized, but they're big, muscle-bound kids that look really well, and they can finish strong.
Christian Turner back on the floor, the 6'7" senior. Hubbard a touch, right block, got the position, got the bucket. Chance for a three-point play.
A nice execution by the Wildcats.
It's an away screen on the backside that allows Hubbard to get to the block first.
Yeah, I missed it. I think it's probably a back screen that caught him blind. I think, Texas State's walking around like they've been hit in the mouth, like it wasn't supposed to be like this. But they will regroup. They are Texas State. They're both schools picked 7th in their respective leagues, trying to earn some respect.
Austin Green, his second foul. It brings Nate Deere off the bench for the first time, the 6'9" junior. Started his career at Howard College out in Big Spring.
Little token pressure.
Yep, eat some shot clock in the backcourt.
There you go, one and done. When I say one and done, I'm talking about one double team and done.
Jones out by the timeline, right side, 10 on the clock. Into the corner, O'Garo, too strong. A nice job of cleaning up defensive rebounds, too. No second chance opportunities. Backdoor cut, Smith at the glass.
That's what I was saying, Andy. It's a tough scout when you've got this lineup that you didn't see this in the video that you've been watching if you scouted ACU.
It's a 7-point Wildcat run, their largest lead of 8 in the first half.
And DeGrew sitting on the bench. Yanni Rivera sitting on the bench.
And Smith the strip. Chance to run 2-on-2. Williams right side, too strong, he'll draw contact. Drennan undercut Williams. Free throws here for the Wildcats.
That's stealing it. Spread the floor right here, 2-on-1. That's not a charge anymore this year. I listened with a Division I official that's called two national championship games, and it's where your plant foot. They're watching the offense plant foot. If you're not there when he plants his foot, that's automatic. And the trail official's watching the finish on top. I didn't know referees were that smart.
Man alive, that's impressive technical observation.
Yeah, I thought, well, where was that when I was coaching?
Williams, the beneficiary of the defensive foul, a 2-for-2 trip. Double-digit lead for the first time.
Which was another thing that Tanner alluded to. They got up 10-2 and they came out and went flat. They were up 9-2. Yeah, it's 9-6 now in the scoring. That's not a big scoring run. DeGrew's back in.
Drennan, entry pass to Deere, a reach in Williams. Bonus situation for Texas State. They'll go back to the line.
That's a bad habit. Yeah. Reaching, you get so excited when you end up trying to guard someone. And we had a guy in high school named Tim Beatty. He was the worst reacher we had on the team.
And more free throws. That's Williams' second foul too, so the third Wildcat with 2 fouls. Still 9 minutes left first half.
Yeah.
1-1 for Deere. Texas State only 2 field goals made thus far, 11 minutes in. 2 for 9 from the field. Madden, right at the free throw line. Cleared by O'Garo.
Madden's not having the kind of year that everyone expected him to have this year.
But, you know, he's one I would say it's difficult because of the way the roster, the dynamic of the roster that he's playing with has changed the dynamic of the role that Hunter Jack has to play this year.
Well, yeah, Hunter Jack, there were times last year he had to be the point guard.
Yeah.
This year, he's got to work himself into position like he's a shooting guard, which I'm sure his DNA tells him he's a shooting guard.
And the options around him, too. To me, there's more scoring options this year than maybe there have been in the previous 2 years, so maybe not as many touches or.
Well, but see now the pace of the game is Texas State pace.
Right.
They're driving, they're penetrating, they're getting into the paint. If you get your opponent in the paint, if you get in the paint, 1 foot in the paint, you considered your defense is dead. And Texas State they're really great at doing that, and then they get on the free throw line. Now here's their token pressure.
Gums has 5 of the 10 now for Texas State. 2 for 2 trip at the line. Wildcats able to break. Smith again runs the point. Brett Tanner said that Rich Smith not quite 100% healthy right now, but it's coming, and when it does, it's going to be scary. Betty All a chance to back down. Baby hook. Horniker the tip. Good board by Turner.
Yes, it was.
Gums on the outlet. Chance to run. It's blocked at the rim. Dontrez Williams.
That's a freshman. That was a great block. Great timing.
Gets the block on O'Garo. It takes us to a break. ACU shooting 44% from the field. And Texas State just 2 for 11 thus far. It all leads to an ACU 8-point lead. Under 8 timeout. First half in Abilene.
Welcome back to Moody Coliseum here in Abilene, Texas. The ACU Wildcats are up by 8 in the first half against the Texas State Bobcats, who had their first loss of the season on Tuesday with a 5-point setback at TCU. 4 Texas State players scored in double digits, led by a career-high 17 points from number 9 there, Tylen Pope. Today's game is the second of 6 consecutive away games for Texas State. Guys, back over to you.
Thanks. I don't feel too bad for them, Daisy. They're on their way to Myrtle Beach next week. A little tournament, a little Thanksgiving tournament. 3 games in Myrtle Beach, so don't feel too bad for them over there. But, yeah, the second of 6 on the road. And a bucket here as they get back to action. Josh O'Garo. He's one of 4 who averages double figures, 10.3. He's got 5 of the 12. He and Gums both with 5. Vincent back in with 2 fouls. Madden a 3, top of the key, buried it.
Yeah, that's got to be Hunter Jack Madden's. That's got to be his game right there. But that's what you were talking about 2 or 3 minutes ago. Coming off screens, coming off stagger screens, and then rolling over to your right side.
6 games a year ago with 4+ threes made. 6 the most he had in a game. And Rich Smith getting fired up as he'll force the turnover.
It's good defense. Yep. I mean, both teams are playing pretty good defense. I think Texas State will warm up here in a minute. It's not like they're not getting what they want.
Turnover number 9 for the Bobcats. You see Jalen Jones, the junior, number 14, guarding Madden. Whistled a foul, push in the back. Free throws coming for ACU. And that foul was on Jones. Send Dontrez Williams to the line. Dontrez just over 11 points a game here early in his first year in a Wildcat uniform. One of the 2 freshmen on the roster, he and Christian Alston. Coach Tanner said, I recruited both. They're both point guards. I recruited them both, hoping to land one of them, and We got both. Major win at the point guard spot.
Wow. He recruited him to be point guards. He told you that?
Yeah.
He'll lie about other things. You don't see a lot of 6'5" point guards.
True.
Well, they are athletic. Now let's watch and see how they break this token pressure. And they're not shooting the ball. I'm talking about Texas State. They're not shooting the ball that well, but this speeds it up.
Ogaro lost it out of his hands. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. They'll inbound on the baseline. Just 3 of 12 thus far for Texas State.
Yeah, it'd be one thing to break it and go down there and lay it up. It's another thing. What they probably want to do is get as deep as they can and then throw it back out. But you got to take the easy basket right now if you're Texas State.
Drennan will draw contact.
A lot of work.
And free throws coming here for the Bobcats. It's double bonus time. 2 free throws coming for Drew Drennan.
And again, as we've talked about the whole first half, this is a Texas State pace right here.
Yep.
Dribble drive, and then get to the free throw line.
So Drew Drennan, his 4th season at Texas State, his 62nd game to play in a Bobcat uniform. He is the 2nd oldest player in the NCAA this year. He will turn 26 in December. Only Kevin Nell from BYU is older than Drew, again, who turns 26 in December. He's got 1 of 2. It's an 8-point Wildcat lead.
I had a 29-year-old one time. We had to have daycare.
For him or a younger?
Yes.
Kickball will reset the shot clock.
Yeah. I had a fan from the other team that we'd beaten come up and say it wasn't fair, and I said, well, I just like my chances better of my 29-year-old against your 18-year-old.
No doubt Drennan doing the same for Texas State.
Yes, absolutely.
There's a look at Christian Alston, again, the 2nd of 2 freshmen on this roster. Hubbard going to work with Turner. Drops it off in the corner. Alston has to run it down, and now a turnover on the inside. Chance to run. Gums leads the break all by himself, finishes with the left hand.
And that's his game right there. That kid is quick, and he's got a lot of bounce. You never know when he gets you on his hip and you're dead, because you don't know if he's going to stop and pop or go all the way.
That time it was the 5th gear motor overdrive, coast to coast for the layup. Madden left all alone, top of the key. His 2nd triple of the first half.
So that's what we're talking about there, Andy. We penetrate, both schools. They penetrate deep, pitch the ball back out, catch them wide open.
Ogaro will draw contact. More free throws here for the Bobcats.
Called on the Wildcats on number 7, Christian.
And Brett Tanner said one of the keys today was do not allow guards to penetrate into the paint.
It's kind of hard when you, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's kind of hard. There's screens on the side. They're not screening in the middle of the floor, but they're screening on the side. And then ACU is hugging these guys. And if you're hugging them like that, it's hard to switch.
Ogaro at the line, the 6'6" senior.
He had a good game against TCU.
He did, 17. The Southpaw 2-for-2 trip. Texas State 7 of 11 at the line. It's helped keep them within distance here, or within reach. ACU's largest lead has been 10.
Well, now they're 15 seconds on the shot clock to run something. This will be a good trip for Texas State if they keep them from scoring.
Madden, a heat check, left wing, back rim. Alston's got it back, blocked in the paint. Pope the block, chance to run again. Drennan lost his footing. Finds Gums in the corner, whistle. And I think a dead ball on the baseline. No foul on the inside, just a dead ball called. Drennan fell down in the paint. The officials stopped play.
You know, Christian Alston getting his shot blocked, that's inexperience. You probably ought to regroup, pump fake, get your feet under you, or pitch the ball back out. There's a lot of size and girth in there. You know what girth means, don't you?
I think so.
I mean, you've been to the Bean too many times.
I haven't been to the Bean very often, I must admit. Drennan Asim tries to drive on Smith. He'll draw contact. And back to the charity stripe.
Well, you know, I'm impressed with the way they're letting them play, but if they'll just stop the reaching, both squads.
And Drennan back to the line. He'll shoot 2.
I'm trying to find the free throw statistic. Did you have a free throw for ACU?
4 for 6 for the Wildcats. 8 for now 13 for the Bobcats.
Yeah.
And it's a Texas State team, again, as you mentioned earlier, they shoot 83% from the line.
Yeah.
They're well below that here at 8 for 13, but just generating foul trouble. It could be a battle of attrition down the stretch today.
Yeah.
4 different Wildcats now with 2 fouls. DeGrew is one of them. He's back in at the point. He'll work one-on-one with Ogaro. The pull-up from 15. Bettiol offensive board to put back. Leading scorer for the Wildcats at 13.3.
He's not the greatest leaper in the world, but he is a quick leaper. Snagged it, went straight up.
He's got 4. Keon Williams and Madden both with 6. Drop off to Pope and an easy finish with the left hand.
Good penetration. It's a good find in traffic.
Popes has 4. Gums and Ogaro with 7 apiece. Only 4 in the scoring column thus far for Texas State. Now a whistle, a foul away from the ball, and it's an offensive foul.
Yeah.
Christian Alston got caught on an illegal screen. Hunter Jack Madden 2 threes in the first half. ACU's got a 7-point lead here under 4 in Abilene. And there's a look at our crowd here at Moody Coliseum. We had a nice crowd today. It's been a doubleheader basketball. The ACU women tipped off with North Texas at noon. We're finishing off the backside of the doubleheader. And ACU has the 7-point lead. Coach, Texas State has as many free throw attempts as they do field goal attempts here in the first half, 14 and 14. But that speaks to their game. They like to penetrate and get to the rim and get to the free throw line,
well,
too.
You pointed it out. It'll tell the tale when we get in the last 10 minutes of the second half. Who's got foul trouble?
The Bobcats have made each of their last 3 field goals. But ACU has led throughout. Texas State has yet to lead today, the largest lead at 10 here in the first half. We've been right around this 6-10 mark majority of the first half. The floater from Ogaro with the left hand, can't get it to fall. The foul on Pope. If that is on Pope, that's his 3rd.
A little frustration with Pope. I'm with him. He should have scored that. He should have taken. He's taking. You know, you play TCU, you're going to take the contact, and you need to finish that. That's what he's telling himself right now. He'll get it together, but you do need to finish.
Pope, the first player for either team with the 3 fouls. He will sub out after this first free throw here from Braden Hubbard. Getting the JUCO All-American last year at Connors State. A double-double in his ACU debut versus Howard Payne back 2 weeks ago.
I think what's out of character for Texas State right now are the turnovers. I think they have 9 turnovers. And those possessions, they're not scoring. You said they had as many free throws as they did possessions almost. You're going to have to create some possessions.
Gums already with 7. Again, the leading scorer for Texas State on the year at 17.3.
See, now if you're watching this at home, there is no 5, traditional 5. It's all perimeter.
Steal, run out. Alston has it blocked, gets it back. All sorts of hands, whistle, and jump ball. Possession going the way of the Bobcats.
And experience again. Great hustle, great play on the defensive end. Comes down and gives it back to him. Right here. You got to finish. Now get it out. Get it out.
Well, give Jones credit there in defensive transition, able to get the deflection, the block on the shot. Gums forces the tie up. Here's an extra possession you talked about for Texas State.
Now look, they don't have anybody under the basket. No one in the paint.
All five,
perimeter.
yeah, all five on the three-point line. Trying to create driving lanes. O'Garo a step, but well strong with the left hand, the dominant left hand.
They're going to have to stop, do a little pull-up, start converting.
Yanni Rivera is in, the sophomore, wears number 2. Madden penetrates, traveled. Turnover number 9 on the Wildcats.
I think Tanner's talking to Alston right now. He's probably telling him the same thing I would have told him. What are you doing?
He'll get the breather, and Dontrez Williams back in. Ball's loose, stolen away, foul on the Bobcats.
That's good defense. We talked about their hugging. Traditionally, when you screen high at the top of the key, you're making the defense have to double, or they'll step up the floor and they'll flash. But they're trying to see if they're going to switch or double on that. It's just not panning out. ACU's not switching on anything.
Well, Madden came over the top of that screen as well, so he was able to get a hand on the handoff, which created the deflection in the loose basketball.
Well, you have to make that decision if you're going to stay on the top on Wednesday of the week of the game, because if you start going behind it, they're going to step up and float and shoot a 3.
Madden, the beneficiary of 2 free throws. He's got an 8-point first half.
I've been impressed with Hubbard. He hadn't had a whole lot of playing time for ACU as I look at their stats. He's really helping them, not hurting them.
Made the start versus McMurray in the absence of Keon Williams. 16 minutes a game, majority of that was against McMurray. Another turnover, Texas State into the backcourt. Basanti Sarugba, number 5, first time on the floor. The pass was off his hand and into the backcourt.
Yeah, in 1 minute and 46 seconds, someone's going to get shoot out if you're from San Marcos. A little sloppy.
ACU has matched their largest lead of the first half, trying to extend. Bettiol back to the basket, 10 feet out. Cross court, Rivera. 3 on the right wing.
There you go. Coming off the bench is immediately your first shot. You don't even lather up. You just shoot a 3.
His second 3 of the year. His first 3 today. A 13-point Wildcat lead. A minute and change left before the half. O'Garo wants to drive again. Able to draw contact.
Yeah.
Dontrez will pick up his second foul. And now 5 Wildcats with 2 fouls apiece.
You know, when we say they're taking them off the dribble, they're taking them off the dribble outside the 3-point line and then screening on the backside so that you can't come over and help. That is really good coaching by Texas State.
So Josh O'Garo at the line and makes the first. From Georgetown and the Cayman Islands. It's a pretty good place to live your childhood, the Cayman Islands.
I've never been there.
Started at Colby Community College. It's been the free throw line that has taken care of Texas State here in the first half. 10 of their 21 points from the charity stripe. Bettiol doubled. Kicks to Rivera.
Well, there's a battle going on under there.
Alston with a lane. Off the front of the rim.
Again, $1 million move, nickel shot. He's got to finish.
O'Garo with the left hand. And O'Garo coming to life.
Here we come. Bobcats are coming back now.
Double figures for O'Garo. He's got 11.
All right, you got the possession arrow. You've got, what, 30 seconds to go? Shot clock down to 17.
10-second difference. Game clock, shot clock.
Watch
8
off.
on the clock. Bettiol on the baseline. Bodies up. Left it short. Final possession for Texas State. Gums in a hurry. Fouled on the attack.
That's Gums' game right there. That's fantastic.
Oh, we saw that earlier. He went coast to coast, full throttle, and finished. This time he draws the foul.
Yeah, he can definitely go 94 feet and make things happen once he gets in there. That's what you call finishing right there. Austin needs to do the same thing. He needs to draw the foul. He commits to the shot so early that he can't twist his body and draw the contact. Contact's already there.
Texas State has not trailed at halftime this year. They'll do that for the first time here this afternoon.
I still think both teams are trying to find themselves.
Disjointed first 20 minutes. I have to adjust to the pace of play, the style of play. One final push for the Wildcats. Rivera, three, left wing. And Gums from 70 feet out. That's how the first half will come to an end.
Good half.
ACU shoots 41% in the first half, 11 of 27. Texas State just 17 field goals in the first half, but they were 12 of 18 at the free throw line. Texas State with 12 turnovers in the first half, 9 turnovers for ACU. Good defensive first half for the Wildcats, a 7-point ACU lead at the halftime break. Brett Tanner is with Daisy Strine. Daisy, it's all yours.
Hey, Coach, it's the first time Texas State has trailed all season. What are your thoughts on the half?
Well, they're really good. We hit a couple shots, which helped us a little bit. I thought we were pretty solid on defense, and we survived a lot of foul trouble. So really pleased with that. I thought some guys came in off the bench ready to go, and so I'm happy about that. But we've got to do a better job of not fouling in the second half. We can't give them, a good team like Texas State, this many opportunities at the free throw line.
Hunter Jack Madden leading in field goals in the half. What have you seen in him?
It's confidence. He's playing with confidence. I think he's lacked a little confidence, so hopefully this gets him going a little bit.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck. Andy, back over to you.
Daisy, thanks, Coach Tanner. 32-25, ACU has a 7-point lead. We'll send it upstairs with Roman and J-Mo. They'll have your halftime report. WAC basketball on a Saturday afternoon on ESPN+.
Welcome into the third floor here at Moody Coliseum. Jamison Sterrett alongside my host, Roman Raffelli. Roman, a very defensive-minded first half that we saw there from both teams. What are your thoughts?
Well, we had 6 fouls in the first 4 minutes. Coach Tanner went with a more defensive starting lineup there. We knew this was going to be a low-scoring game, and this game throughout is going to be, first team to get to 70 points, probably has a really good shot here. But just looking at the stats, super even. The big things for ACU, 16 points from their bench. Texas State has 0. Their bench is really showing up to play on both the defensive and offensive sides, and they're getting turnovers while not giving up too many. The differential is pretty even there, but ACU has 14 points off their turnovers, and Texas State only has 3.
Yeah, Roman, we talked here before we went on about this is a statement game for ACU defensively. A kind of a tougher team, kind of what can we do here defensively? What are your thoughts, though, for the defense there for ACU?
Yeah, ACU has always been a defensive-minded basketball program. That's what this program does. That's their bread and butter, and they've done a great job so far, being physical without being too physical. There's some fouls that could probably, be left behind, but they've done a great job limiting, open looks. And, if you're Texas State, you're just not shooting the ball well. You've got a couple guys who have a few points, but you're shooting 31% as a team, while ACU's shooting 42, and you're 50% from 3, but there aren't very many threes going down. You're 1 of 2 from 3. You have to be able to create shots better than they have so far.
Yeah, take a look at the steals there. ACU, 4 steals defensively. Texas State was 6. ACU did a good job there early by not turning over the ball. We talked about that, but then as we started getting closer to this halftime break, Texas State did a great job there, and 9 turnovers for ACU and 10 for Texas State. So kind of even there in the turnover battle.
For sure, and Texas State started 2 of 9 from the field, which is about the 8.5-minute mark, and then started to climb back in about 9.5 minutes. That broke down that lead a little bit, and then ACU they kept responding and kept climbing back in and extending that lead, playing with confidence and just playing the team basketball that they need to play.
Yeah, talking about some defensive highlights here. Talking about a defensive matchup, look at some of these highlights here. That's Keon Williams. We talked about that. It was a big game for him to be back. Talked about how he needed a couple of days off for some rest. He rested against McMurray. Now he's back, and he's a big key for the Wildcats.
Yeah, huge piece. Transferring in from Oklahoma State. Really great addition to this team. And Brett Tanner added a lot of guys. Joseph Van Zant, another big piece there, as well as Cade Hornack, who started today in place of Leo Bettiol, who's had a great game. But then Hunter Jack Madden, a guy who's been here a long time, leading scorer with 8 and just playing really well. ACU just thriving in their style right now, and it doesn't look like they're playing a big school like Texas State here.
You're right. And also, you know, Dontrez Williams there, another key freshman for ACU. Talking about the recruiting there that Brett Tanner has done this offseason. He told me that, again, they're still trying to find kind of where they are, and this team, like we see in Texas State, doing a good job.
Yeah, they're just playing really well, playing their ball, you know, not getting sped up or slowed down, just, you know, staying within themselves, playing, you know, without emotion. But then they're also they're doing everything right. I mean, the leading scorer for Texas State has 11 points and 5 of 5 shooting, so that's a really good job. But, you know, going forward in the second half, ACU just needs to rely on their defense, rely on each other, you know, let the bench be the bench, and just play really great team basketball.
Yeah, you're right, Roman. Well, that's all from us up here in the third floor here at Moody Coliseum. We'll see you at the end of the game after this.
And welcome back to Abilene. We get ready to start the second half. The Wildcats will start the second 20 minutes with a 7-point lead. It's ACU 32 and Texas State 25. Andy Penny alongside Coach Ron Holmes. And, Coach, it was a bangers type of game. Boy, physical contact, a lot of fouls called. Didn't get into a great rhythm there in the first half, but at the end of the day, a 7-point lead for the Wildcats.
Well, if banging is your rhythm, this is your game. But, you know, I was just visiting with Brad Fowler, the referee. He said, you know, that was just so much banging going on. They could have called twice as many fouls. Sure. It's a very physical game.
Yeah, more free throw attempts than field goal attempts for Texas State in the first half. 18 free throws compared to just 17 field goal attempts. Wildcats took the lead early. They were able to stay out in front. Their largest lead was at 10. Josh O'Garo, nice first half there for Texas State, but when ACU needed a bucket, they were able to do it on the inside with Bettiol and Hubbard, and then on the outside, Hunter Jack Madden got warm from the three-point line, and that's really been the difference here in the first half.
Well, and I get the feeling that Texas State found themselves the last 2 or 3 minutes. They finished very strong. It looks like they had more confidence. I'm the kind of guy that looks for intangibles, and they had it.
Josh O'Garo leads all scorers with 11 in the first half. Caden Gums had 9. 4 for Pope, 1 for Drennan. That's it, just 4 in the scoring column. No points off the bench yet for Texas State. We'll start the second half the way we ended the first, a foul as the whistle blows.
You know, you mentioned no bench points. Texas State's literally a 7-deep team.
Right.
May not be a whole lot of help coming in over there.
You can look at Coach Terrence Johnson. And whistling an offensive foul call.
Yeah.
Bettiol, the illegal screen.
Yeah, he wasn't squared up on the screen, and then they're going to call that every time.
Madden leads the way for ACU. He had 8 points. Hubbard had 6. Keon Williams with 6 as well. Bettiol 4. Rivera and Smith with 3. DeGrew had 2. Starting 5 on the floor for both teams. Pope going to work with 3 fouls. A left-handed finish. Great footwork and body control with the dribble. Tylen Pope.
Yeah, he was dribbling in traffic. That was a nice job.
6'6", 240 senior. Fluid with the feet. DeGrew was quiet in the first half in early foul trouble. Only played 5 minutes. Same for Vincent. He'll spin on the baseline.
Yeah, not a good
Lost
start.
His footing. It's a turnover. 2 trips, 2 turnovers for the Wildcats.
Yeah, this half starting the way the first half ended. Texas State looks like they found themselves.
Texas State can close within 1 possession here early second half. Gums works on DeGrew. $10 on the clock for Drennan.
Good defense, no post. Foul.
Pope drives the baseline, another foul on Bettiol. Hey, let's go courtside. Daisy Strine's got something. Daisy?
Thanks, Andy. I talked with head coach for Texas State, Terrace Johnson, at the half. He said that his team just needs to calm down. They're a good team. They just need to settle down and get in sync and find their flow. So we'll see if they can do that here in the second half. Guys, back to you.
Good stuff, Daisy. It's been Tylen Pope getting some touches. Gums a touch, too. The floater in the paint. It's down to a 3-point game.
That looked like a 40-inch vertical floater.
And now an offensive foul. Leo Bettiol, his third foul since the halftime break.
No, I missed that. Did you see it?
And Brett Tanner is well out on the court, giving his opinion to the officials here. That's a tough call. And Leo, who did not have a foul in the first half, has picked up 3 in the first 136 of the second half.
Well, the referees, which they're an experienced crew, and they do a great job. They've had to regroup at the half as well. That was a little sloppy in the first half. You and I talked about that. It's very physical.
Yep.
There could have been more fouls called. They're going to clean it up.
Timeout on the floor here with the Brett Tanner timeout. It's extended to immediate timeout. Texas State on a run. They've got it back down to 3. 18 and change left in Abilene. Good look inside Moody Coliseum. One of the great aesthetics here, the newly renovated. I say newly, it's been 3 seasons now, but Moody Coliseum, a great home for Wildcat basketball. A 4-0 run to start the second half. Leo Bettiol with 3 quick personals here to start the second half. He is on the bench. Cade Horniker is back on the floor. Another touch, Pope in the paint, too strong this time. Coach, the game plan is let's get Gums and Pope some touches the second half.
Well, and that's a great gum plan.
Yes, sir.
I made it funny.
Pope just too strong that time. Keon Williams with 6 points in the first half. Pass deflected out on the far side.
You know, Gum, if you just tell Gums to go, he's going to go. I don't know if there's anybody on the floor who can run with him for 94 feet. But, my Lord, what a talent he is.
6 on the shot clock for DeGrew. He'll get a high screen and a seam. Off the back of the rim, he's fouled. Free throws for Nasir.
Now, if ACU does to Texas State what Texas State's been doing to ACU, penetrate, dribble drive, and then convert your free throws and reward yourself.
Nasir's first trip to the free throw line this season. He is more of the pull-up shooter from 3 or from 15 feet, but he gets to the line here. Second season here at ACU, the transfer from LSU Eunice.
Came on strong at the end of the season.
He did.
Last year. He and Yanni Rivera.
He's got 2 free throws. Up to 4 points and a Wildcat 5-point lead. ACU will extend pressure into the backcourt.
Little token again. Milk that shot clock.
Close to a 10-second violation. He'll get it across. Pope, another touch. Blocked from behind Vincent. Great transition defense. Now DeGrew, the floater.
Shot a
Chance
little
to
early.
run. Gums, Turner, left hand. Gums the tap, can't get it. Now Williams by himself, one-on-one.
Block.
And a foul on Gums. Another look at the block in defensive transition. Great job, Joseph Vincent.
Good board, good board, good board. They get the ball up the floor.
Foul on Gums again. That's just his first. Pope has 3, Turner with 3, Drennan also with 3.
Now, if I'm coaching this game, Andy, I'm looking at Honecker. He seems to settle everything down when the ball has to go through him.
There's a pass stolen away. Turner will lead the break, 3-on-1. Finds Pope. Out of control, miss. Bailed with a foul. Free throws coming for Pope. I thought Pope was about to throw that down with the right hand. He decided to go finesse.
Well, he probably should have. He would have gotten an and one.
Yeah. The size advantage on Hunter Jack Madden.
Oh, yeah. Texas State's starting to assert themselves a little bit, the physicality that they have.
And Pope with the 3 fouls, limited minutes in the first half. He's only played 11 thus far today.
You know, I think I've jinxed Texas State. They were an 83% free throw team. Not today.
12 for 19 after that miss. Four-point game.
Interesting stat that you and I talked about during halftime is the number of free throws versus the number of turnovers versus the number of possessions that they had. It was discombobulated. The numbers were not favorable for Texas State. They had probably 20, 25 possessions, but they had 12 turnovers. That's not a good stat. Not when you're one of the oldest teams in America.
Yeah. Rich Smith runs the point, then Zant to Madden. He's already hit 2 threes today. Make it 3.
Yeah. Hunter Jack is back, it would appear. It's one thing to hit threes against Howard Payne or McMurray. It's another to hit them against Texas State.
Finally got rolling in that second half versus McMurray on Tuesday. 3 threes, 11 points, all in the second half. Now 3 threes today. O'Garo had a nice first half. He'll drive with the left hand. Works on Keon Williams. Horniker. The board, Madden the outlet. We'll try to run.
Block.
Whistle.
Oh.
Charge call.
Wow. Wow. Let's see. Oh, no, Lord, I got him. I guess he was there. I missed that one.
Yep, Drennan able to get to the spot and take the charge on Keon.
Yeah.
His 3rd foul. So Keon and Betty all both with 3 for the Wildcats.
Yeah, they're going to have to learn to live with that and play the rest of the game. At 16 minutes, you're going to have to play with 3 fouls.
Dontrez Williams will check in for Keon Williams. This pass deflected out on the near side. Timeout on the floor, under 16 left here in Abilene. ACU, they've led throughout. They got a 7-point lead.
Welcome back to Moody Coliseum. Abilene Christian up by 7 in the second half. Let's take a look at graduate guard Drew Drinian. He's back on the court after missing last season due to an injury. A little fun fact for you, he's the 2nd oldest player in the NCAA Division I this season. He's one of the 9 student athletes to be still playing that was born before 2000. Andy, back over to you.
Therefore, Drew Drennan is 89th game today.
Yeah, he's got an AARP card. Little zone action by the Wildcats.
First time we've seen zone today. It forces the turnover. Get some foul trouble for the Wildcats. So you called this. You called this that we might see some zone from Brett Tanner. It's not traditional. It's not ideal, but with foul trouble, we might see some here in the second half.
Well, not when you grew up in Kansas. You're not used to zones.
Madden is 4-3.
Wow.
Heat check from Hunter Jack from 23 feet deep.
Yeah, nice. That was from another zip code.
And the lead has swelled back to 10. It's a 6-0 run thanks to Hunter Jack.
It's a coming at game for Hunter Jack.
Nice entry pass. O'Garo got the roll. O'Garo up to 13 on 4 for 10 shooting.
You know, when your post can take one dribble, be in the paint, and then dish it, get it the assist, that's pretty good.
Oh, Hunter Jack wanted that one. He'll drop it off Horniker. Cade another touch. Baby hook, got it.
That is big time basketball right there. In and out, in and out.
Just stayed under control too.
Yes. Nice addition.
Yep, nice and patient, efficient possession for the Wildcats. Back to a 10-point spread.
See, now that goes to Leo, and everybody stands around because he's going to do something with it. Honecker makes you work.
Gums, the 15-foot jumper on the baseline. Gums is up to 13 as well. It's a timeout by Terrence Johnson here on the floor.
Good timeout by TJ.
An 8-point spread. Hey, let's give you a behind-the-scenes look here at ACUTV, and there's a shout-out to Crandall High School. How we doing, Pirates? Looking good in there. Thanks for visiting ACU today. Looking good in there, guys. Welcome to the show. And that's the group coach right there. They're setting the screens for us. They're throwing the alley-oops. All we got to do is finish at the rim, and they do a great job for us, you know.
Oh, they do a great job. We need them to be a little more aggressive because there's not one offensive foul in that whole studio.
Yeah, we need to work on that, but making us look good here on the ESPN airwaves.
Yeah.
ACU's hit their last 3 field goals. They're now at 44%. Texas State, the percentage is coming up at 40%. They are 10 of 25 this afternoon. ACU has led throughout.
I get the feeling that the pace has gone back to an ACU type of pace.
And now an offensive foul.
Dontrez Williams.
Yep, Dontrez got caught.
Well, you know, a freshman, he needs to get his nose blooded every now and then. Time to grow up. It's good defense, though, really.
His 3rd foul as Drennan took the contact. So now Bettiol, Keon Williams, and Dontrez Williams all with 3. Gums a pull-up from 8. Williams a chance to run. One-on-one with Jones, and a block.
Oh. Let's watch him take it in there. Now, right now, you don't know if he's going to call block or charge. Yep. But you've got to have enough nerve to go on in there and try to commit, make him commit and go in there and see if you can get on the free throw line. That's experience. Keon must have done that at Oklahoma State.
Yep. The transfer from OSU. He grew up in Jonesboro, Arkansas. I asked Brett, I said, how'd you land Keon? He said, well, we had a relationship with him in his high school recruiting days.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's a Power 5, now Power 4 type of talent, so he went to OSU. The coaching change in Stillwater. He said, but we went back to our roots in Arkansas. He said he knew Arion Simmons, who played here for 5 years, had a relationship there. Jalen Franklin, who's also from Arkansas. He said, that's what helped us land Keon. Depth of relationship with former players, with our coaching staff. He took the chance at Oklahoma State, didn't quite work out, and he's now here in Abilene.
Well, they got a new coach at Oklahoma State, which prompted him to leave.
Yeah, Coach Lutz. Gums a step, kicks into the corner. A 3 for Drennan. Got it.
Wow.
Drennan's over 50% shooting the 3 ball this year. Came in at 53.5, 8 for 15 on the young season. His first triple today.
And if you'll notice the difference now with Honecker on the bench, Bettiol in the game. Ball's going to go into Bettiol. He's going to try to offense the ball.
Yep.
Cade doesn't try to offense the ball near as much. That's not his first move.
Both Bettiol and Hubbard on the floor, so some size here for the Wildcats.
Girth. That's that word again.
Hubbard with the dribble behind the back. Keon with 5 on the shot clock. Up and under. Got it to go.
Big time, big time. Good move.
Keon's got 9.
The old step through as opposed to the Euro.
ACU continues to keep Texas State at arm's length. See if Pope gets a touch. There it is on the pick and roll. Kicks into the corner. Second look. Drennan missed this time.
Sometimes you can be too wide.
Man.
Too open.
And no contest.
Yeah, no contest. That's not a real rhythm shot. That's a horse shot.
That's been tapped out far side. And should take us to our under 12 timeout, and it will. 45-37, the Wildcats still with the 8-point lead. Under 12 here in Abilene. And another look here at Moody Coliseum. Boy, it's just been an absolute pristine day today in the big country of Abilene. Wildcats hanging on to that 8-point lead at 45-37. Texas State, who shot 18 free throws in the first half, have only shot 2 here in the second half. But coming alive with the field goal percentage.
It's just human nature. You can't figure out why you shoot so many to begin the game and then so few in the second half.
Backdoor cut, nice catch. Smith can't finish.
You got to finish that.
Yep, Gums the contest.
Possessions are going to be very valuable right now. And you have to give the ball eyes. You don't want to blind the basketball. Here's a dunk.
And a finish. Didn't dunk it, but he got to the rim. And the body control of Caden Gums is something impressive. He absorbs the contact.
Yes.
He finishes at the rim. Chance for a three-point play.
Watch him. He takes it in the air. Yeah, that's good camera work right there.
Foul is on Vincent, his third. And Caden Gums just knows how to score the basketball.
Yeah.
It's been a quiet 15, but he leads all scorers now with 16. One shy of his season average.
You know, there's always a silent assassin on every team that you play. He's a little more front line type, draws attention, but that's a real quiet 15.
Back to a 5-point game.
Patience.
Madden, step back. Got his fifth three of the afternoon.
Wow. You know that now against Middle Tennessee, those are shots that would have bailed the Wildcats out. They're falling. That was not a real good offensive herky-jerky move. It wasn't smooth, but he bailed them out with a good shot.
The shot fake created the space. Gums back to work. Good help defense. Backdoor cut and a jump stop. Turner gives it to Pope.
And Gums bails them out. What a point guard. What a talent.
A great extra pass for Turner. Pope the recipient. Madden with a step. Bounce pass to Bettiol. Got it to go on a foul.
What an and one.
It started with a pick and roll at the top of the key.
And penetration. Watch him get in deep.
But the pick and roll continued.
See how deep he got?
Yep.
You're at the mercy of the offense right there.
Pope's fourth foul. That could prove big. Pope has been an offensive threat here in the second half, but now 4 fouls.
Absolutely. Hunter Jack, having point guard experience, looked for that.
Bettiol with 7 with the 3-point play. Back to a 9-point lead for Brett Tanner and company.
Now, we talked about during the timeout. Now's the time you've got to know how many timeouts you have, who's got the possession arrow. We're fixing to get desperate, both benches.
Jalen Jones has checked in for Pope.
We're into that attrition time that you were talking about with the fouls.
And Coach Johnson has elected to go smaller here. Jones at 5'11", subs in for Pope, who's 6'6". A look for Drennan. DeGrew clears and will bring it to the front court.
Now you want to exercise and run some clock. And
Hunter Jack Madden will get to the rim and finish. Took advantage of his own size advantage. Chance for a 3-point play.
He takes him off the dribble all the way in, draws the contact, finishes. Strong move, very strong move. You know, the big plus to that, Andy, he's going to get fouled. He's either going to, if he misses the attempt, you're pretty sure he's going to make the 2 free throws. But he turned that into an and one. And now, you know, you mentioned in the first half, you called it, Coach Penny. Yeah. It's attrition time.
We'll see Basanti Sarugba played limited minutes in the first half, just 6 minutes off the bench, but here he is with foul trouble for Texas State. It's a 20-point afternoon for Hunter Jack. He had 4 of those last year, his first now this season. And the largest lead of the afternoon as we go under 10.
It's in there in the zone to change the pace.
Gums needs some help. 8 on the clock. A little out of control. Ball's loose. Body's on the floor. Jump ball.
Possession.
Possession will stay with Texas State. Just 4.5 on the shot clock.
That's why I'm saying you've got to watch the possession arrow now, because you can afford, if you were Texas State, you probably could have afforded that because you're going to get the ball back. But from this point forward, especially when you get inside of 4 minutes to go in the game, you got to watch that possession arrow. It's an extra possession for you. You can take the tie and don't have to burn a timeout.
The zone's been hard to crack. I know it's not the MO of Brett Tanner with his defensive group, but it's been hard to crack here in the last few possessions.
Well, Texas State's used to getting the ball inbounds and running it up the floor, and then you run into a zone. That's a totally different pace. Good coaching.
4.5 on the shot clock. What Betty all guarding the inbounds too. Tipped out, will stay with Texas State. Some time should have come off the shot clock. It's still at 4.5. A little bit of time should have come off the shot clock.
Yeah.
The officials will probably take a look at that on that far side.
Did you notice how much time was up there? I didn't notice that.
Well, it was 4.4 when the inbounds happened, so I'm anticipating at least a second and a half.
You know, Andy, if I go back to coaching, you're going to be on my staff.
Okay.
You're the clock watcher.
I like it. Okay.
I'll decide what we eat. You decide. You just watch the clock.
Just let me order the food after the game too. Is that a deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you better have a bus there.
They're going to leave 4.4 on the shot clock. Now they're going to change it. My apologies, to 2.4. They took 2 seconds off the shot clock. Gums a look, deep three. Keon a box out in the board.
Well, that's a good possession right there for the Wildcats. They milked the clock, got a rebound.
Every possession seems like it's working through Madden's hands right now. He'll find Keon Williams for a three left side. And the lead has swelled to 15 for ACU.
You know, if you're Texas State, you'd better have a team meeting every time Hunter Jack has the ball. And it better be right there on Hunter Jack. Good ball movement. Texas State's going to have to speed the game up a little bit now.
It's a 12-2 run. Texas State got back within 5. It's now up to 15. Foul here on the Wildcats. Hunter Jack a hold. He got caught. It's team foul number 8, so free throws for the Bobcats. Another great look.
Yeah, well, I mean, they're coming off a high screen. They're gonna weigh the other side of the floor, so he can't take him off the dribble. He just throws an overhead pass back in the corner. Keon, if Keon's going to shoot and play the way he's been playing today and hit threes on top of that, you've got yourself an all-conference SWAC player.
The foul there on Madden, his third. Jalen Jones at the line to shoot the 1-and-1. And you talked about early, Coach, just the depth of this Texas State bench.
Yeah.
You've got a guy like Jones playing big minutes today. He only averaged 3.5 minutes a game through their first 3. Right. So, well, that's extended minutes here. He's up to 13 minutes of play.
And again, we talked about in the pregame. They have to find themselves. They have to find out what kind of team they have. They're talented, but can they play together? Yeah. And they're very experienced. So being behind 14 or 13 now is not going to bother them.
A 2-for-2 trip for Jones. Turner replaces him in the lineup. Yanni Rivera back on the floor, as is Nasir DeGrew. Whistle, a kick ball call. Yeah. That will reset the shot clock to 20.
You know, that drive Coach Tanner crazy. They're standing around and they throw the ball away. You got to fake a passing lane and then get it to him. If not, reverse the ball. It's going up.
Williams up strong, right side, able to finish. A hefty jump stop, collects himself, finishes strong on the right side.
Yeah, that's a weight room jump stop.
Yep. Keon's up to 12. Made his ACU debut versus Howard Payne 2 weeks ago with 20. But now his second double-figure game in his first 3. Again, did not play versus McMurray. So
every time Gums touches the ball, he's drawing 2 cats.
Pope is back in with 4 fouls. A look for Drennan. Got it. His second triple of the second half.
If he warms up, they find him in the opens, in the gaps. It'll be good.
He's got 7. It's a 12-point game. Bettiol, a drop step on the baseline, too strong. Tapped around. Keon has it. A drive, a foul, shot no good. Free throws coming, and Tylen Pope's afternoon just came to an end. His 5th foul will send Keon Williams to the free throw line. It will send us to our under 8 timeout here in Abilene. ACU stretched out the lead now to 12. 7 and change left this afternoon. "12-point lead for Abilene. The day has come to an end for Tylen Pope, his 5th foul. That's huge for Texas State. 1, a defensive presence. 2, a scoring option on the offensive end. His day's done with 9 points.
Yeah, that and a lot of beef. He can carve out a lot of space underneath.
Sends Keon Williams to the line. Keon's come alive here in the second half. Miss at the foul line. 7 for 12 from 3 for ACU. They are 12 of now 17 at the free throw line.
You know, at some point you're going to look up if you're ACU and there's going to be full court pressure. Texas State, what are they, 13 down? They need about create 4 or 5 trips because you can't bank on 4 or 5 stops.
ACU eats some shot clock with some full court pressure.
I want to watch Gums go to work.
Leads the way with 16. Finds a seam. Floater off the glass. Offensive rebound, O'Garo with the left hand.
Second shots are killers, especially when you get in that, inside the 8-minute mark. They just create space, create trips.
O'Garo's got 15.
Gums will go to work. Now we got a little zone action by Texas State. Slow the pace down.
Gives Williams a look in the corner. Left it short.
It worked.
Jones coming fast, lost it.
Get in the middle, get in the middle.
Smith throws the alley. Williams with the oop.
I never saw that. Uh-oh.
Stoppage in play here as Jones is slow to get up for Texas State, and also Rich Smith is saying there's some condensation on the floor here on the near side too. So both teams.
Now that's good. It's good officiating, Andy, because they could have stopped the break.
Right.
That's just good officiating.
Let the offensive possession go ahead and finish out. We'll step away here. 6.5 to go. ACU the 13-point lead. In play, you can see Jalen Jones, who went down on that last offensive possession for Texas State, but he is back up. He walked off under his own power. The condensation on the floor was also cleaned off the floor too. I think Jones landed right on his hip.
Yeah.
Just trying to walk that off. 13-point lead. Gums got caught in the air. Deflected out of bounds by Hubbard.
Yeah, I told you I wanted to watch him go to work. The last 3 possessions have been all Gums trying to create.
I think that's going to be it as the inbounds off the mark. A lot of contact. A foul call on Hubbard. As Turner went up high to try to catch the inbounds pass. He and Hubbard with contact.
Yeah.
Turner goes down, Hubbard the foul.
There's body on body like that. If you're exposed out in the middle of the floor, the referee's got to, if you put the referee on an island, he's got to call, or he's going to call. They get by with a lot of stuff when they get them in traffic.
You can see the grimace on Turner's face.
Yeah. What? If you took a hit
from Hubbard, I'd have a grimace and more on my face. So Turner at the line, has not scored yet today in 28 minutes. He's only taken one field goal attempt. This is his first trip to the free throw line. It's the final of the 1-on-1s on team foul number 9. Horniker up high for the board.
You know, he's been averaging 7 points a game, and he doesn't have a point. Little zone.
Yes.
See what Horniker does.
Boy, Van Zandt working that free throw line. The whole of a 2-3 defense. There it is. There's a touch.
You got to show numbers now if you're Horniker.
5 on the clock. Smith on the dribble. Pulls up from 12 on the baseline.
Big basket. Big basket. Texas State's got to come down quick and create now.
That's 5 for Smith. Gums cut off by Van Zandt. O'Garo has it stripped. Turnover number 15 for the Bobcats.
Yeah. Turnover's been a big problem for both teams.
Squared up, 15 turnovers apiece. Chance to extend on the largest lead of the afternoon. Through the hands of Williams. There's turnover 16.
Yeah.
ACU wrapping up this 4-game homestand to start the year. On the road next Wednesday at Kennesaw State. A trip to Bozeman, Montana during Thanksgiving week for a little 4-team tournament. Texas State on their way to Conway, South Carolina, Myrtle Beach tournament next week. As there's a foul, it sends O'Garo to the line.
Yeah.
Tournament coming up next weekend.
Yeah, statistically, ACU with 2 timeouts, Texas State with 2 timeouts. Possession arrow goes to ACU, so you've got the under 4 timeouts. So both schools have 3. And a possession go to ACU. And that matters when you're coaching.
Re-entering for the Wildcats, number 15, Braden Hubbard.
Hubbard, a quick breather, right back in. Keon Williams will substitute out. O'Garo has matched his season high with 17. That's the second time this week he's done that.
He'll look down the floor.
Madden in the front court. 5 triples for Hunter Jack today, 20 points. Ball's loose. And over and back violation. Back-to-back trips with turnovers.
Yeah, Hunter Jack picked the ball up. Well, we didn't get the time. We didn't get the replay on it, but Hunter Jack steps across the half court. Obviously, you can't step back, so you just created a double team when you lose your dribble.
And give it right back, turnover. Yeah. Turner lost it in the paint. Possessions at a premium with 4.5 to go.
Yeah.
At what point, Coach, do you start milking shot clock before you even look for a shot?
Well, like right now, even if you don't score.
Madden will try to, and he will.
As I was saying, even if you don't score, you're taking a possession away from the other school.
Hunter Jack with 23 on his 6th 3 of the afternoon. He's getting close to a career high. 27 is the career high versus UTRGV a year ago. 23 today. Entry pass knocked away. Bodies on the floor. 5 on the shot clock. And a foul on Van Zandt.
Yeah, good.
Free throws coming for Texas State on the other side of our last media timeout. Hunter Jack Madden, 23 on the afternoon. ACU in control, less than 4 to go. 16 points, Wildcat lead. Well, ACU looks good in November, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It's a beautiful campus. Yep. Quite a remodel job they've done at Moody.
A good crowd has come out to support the Wildcats here today.
Yeah.
And ACU is now 8 for their last 10 from the field.
Now, if you're Texas State, you have to score every trip, but you're going to have to gamble and create some opportunities. If you're ACU, You want to come down the floor as fast as you can, milk clock, but you don't want to keep from scoring. You want to score. Take the first layup you can get.
53 right now is on pace for the lowest scoring output for Texas State this year. They scored in their opener 64 versus Eastern Michigan in a 20-point win, 64-44. Still some work to do to try to get there.
Yeah.
They'll need at least 68 to win today. Madden drives baseline behind the back and around the rim. Horniker gets it a second time and a third. Can't finish.
Wow.
And a foul. If that's on Vinzant, his day is done.
You know, now everybody watching, well, I wish I were 7 foot. No, you don't. Yeah, he shouldn't have missed that.
And it cost Vinzant his 5th foul. His day has come to an end. Quiet day for Joseph today. No points in 16 minutes.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you that it's not reflected what he brings to the team.
Yeah, he's an off the stat sheet type of guy.
Oh, my Lord, he's an enzyme.
Yep. And we'll send Ogaro to the line to shoot 2. It's double bonus the rest of the way. If Texas State's going to have a chance to get back in it,
well, it'll be right here.
3 points with the clock stopped.
Yes. Yeah, that you've got to score with no running clock.
And the law of average is coming back for Texas State, who came in averaging 83%. They're up to 73% today, 22 of 30.
Go to the hole.
Smith breaks the press. Hubbard, reverse layup,
That's what you
foul
got
on
to
the
do.
way.
That's what you do right there. My coaches, my college and my high school coaches, if they come at you 90 miles an hour, you go back at them 100 and get the layup. That breaks their back. But now he's got to hit the free throw, or that's a good possession for Texas State.
Again, the clock stopped.
Yeah.
Hubbard, 18 minutes today, has 6 points, 2 for 3 from the line. Make that 3 for 4.
Hubbard's going to be quite the steal for ACU.
Yep.
Nice body. You got to have a whack body. We talked about that. They've had not quite the girth.
Yep.
There's that word again.
Yep.
But they're nice-looking kids. Big. Texas State's good-looking too.
And you look at the guys who are in the WAC. There's some impressive big men in the WAC. That one falls out. Gums. It's a run out for DeGrew. Ahead of the defense. And the layup.
Yeah. That's a backbreaker right there.
Largest lead of the afternoon at 16, and now a steal, DeGrew.
You know, now if you're Texas State, I would think that you're starting to think, well, 55, we can do better than that. Let's regroup.
15 of 36, 42% for the Bobcats.
If you're ACU, Andy, they started out with a lead. I don't think they've given up a lead or a tie.
Led the whole way.
Yeah, against a quality team. With 2 minutes to go, it's
Ogaro strong. He's fouled this time, and Ogaro to the line to shoot 2.
See, now that's where referee's in your head right there. Someone should have fallen, but they don't want to fall.
Right. So a tough week here for Texas State is closing in on back-to-back losses at TCU and now here at ACU. 4 more on the road.
There's that 80% free throw.
In preseason number 7 this year in the Sun Belt. Arkansas State, the favorite. James Madison, who made the tournament a year ago, is the second-place team. Texas State is picked 7th out of a 14-team conference.
I'm not real sure, but didn't James Madison do some damage in the playoffs last year? First-round wins.
You put me on the spot.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Free throws here for the Wildcats.
You know, shout out to the referees. They let them bang in the first half, settled everyone down in the second half. I think this is probably a little smoother than it started out to be. Both coaches have settled in.
James Ford, Brad Fowler, Kelly Eli, our 3-man officiating crew today.
Rich Smith's been is one of the quickest kids I've ever seen.
Coach, the power of the internet. James Madison beat Wisconsin last year in the first round.
There you go. My memory's not as bad as I thought it was.
Lost to Duke in the second round, but a win versus Wisconsin. They were a 12 seed. Won the 12-5 game versus Wisconsin.
That's what balance of nature will do for you. You'll have immediate total recall.
It's a 32-4 year last year for James Madison.
Yeah.
$15-point lead for the Wildcats, under 2 minutes. And Drennan fouled on his way to the bucket.
It's an easy call. You know, you have to go straight up. What, a minute 46 to go in the game. 15-point lead. Barring a miracle.
We talked about the Texas State schedule, about to be on the road. ACU about to be on the road as well. Today's November 16th. They don't play again at home until December 14th, almost a month between home games. At Kennesaw State this Wednesday, then they'll go to Montana State.
I think Kennesaw's in Atlanta, isn't it?
I think
the power of the internet. Someone in the studio could look that up.
Trips to Omaha, that's in Nebraska. New Mexico State and Baylor.
Geography Andy.
Get a chance to go play at the Foster Pavilion down in Waco against the Bears. It's in late December, back at home on December 14th. 14-point lead.
Plenty of time.
Yep.
If you're ACU. Take your time.
Hunter Jack, a step back, a whistle, an offensive foul call.
Offense?
Hunter Jack, a push off with the offhand, got caught.
Good call.
He will lead Wildcat scorers today. His day has come to an end on his 5th personal foul. 23 points for Hunter Jack Madden. 7 of 11 shooting, 6 of 8 from deep. 3 of 3 at the line for 23 for Hunter Jack. A tremendous compliment to the inside game. If you get the inside-outside game working, could be a special year.
Well, you want to look at what you started today.
Gums a drive, backdoor pass. Off the rim, no good, but Green to the line to shoot 2.
You know, maybe if you're Tanner, think about this. Let's bring Leo in off the bench. Let's start Honecker, get everybody involved. His vision at 7 foot, and when he holds the ball over his head, he's 9 feet tall. You know, there's something to be said for that.
Got the start today. He'll be 1-0 in his career in the starting lineup.
You know, on the other hand, now if you're Texas State and you're basically an undersized team, probably in the Sun Belt, it's 6'7", 6'7", wide bodies. You rely not so much on lob passes, but you rely on bounce passes or frozen ropes.
All right, Coach, so the 4-game homestand coming to an end. I would say this is the best of the 4 that we've seen here at home. What are your takeaways from this 4-game homestand?
Well, the number one thing for me is that they've developed depth. You know, it's the next man up attitude that's paid off for ACU. Now, Texas State, on the other hand, they're thinking what happened to the team that took TCU to the floor.
Right.
You know, so they're going to go home and regroup. They're going to be just fine.
Oh, yeah, plenty of basketball ahead.
But ACU needed a game like this because defense travels. And offense, you know, we'll see if Hunter Jack's going to do something at Kennesaw State, but the defense does travel.
So Green at the line to shoot. He looks for his first point again today in 11 minutes of action. And Moody Coliseum, nice to him, and it rolls in.
The leprechaun.
O'Garo with 23, Gums 16, Pope with 9, Drennan has 8. Just 2 points off the bench today for Texas State. Their starters did the majority of the work, played the majority of the minutes. Gums and O'Garo at 37 minutes. Drennan and Turner at 34 minutes. Keon Williams dribbles down, 5 on the shot clock. He'll attack. And one final push for Texas State.
Yeah.
Gums out, Drennan. Shot fake, drives in. Foul on Smith.
Wow. Well, you know, it's been a good afternoon if you're a Wildcat. It's not so hot if you're a Bobcat.
No.
But they will regroup. They don't have any choice. Who do they have next? They have Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley.
And then
18 tournament next weekend.
Yeah, and then Princeton if they beat Bradley. How'd you like to play Princeton?
Every time I hear Princeton, I think of when they beat UCLA in the NCAA tournament about 20 years ago.
Oh, the back doors.
The backdoor cuts.
Yeah.
That's what I think of every time I hear Princeton basketball.
I think SAT.
Well, that too. Which translates on the basketball floor.
Oh, my gosh, yes.
So a little condensation on the hands of Drennan. Needed a towel to wipe those off. He's got a chance to be the third Bobcat in double figures today. And the grad student's second shot falls out. Shot clock, game clock, essentially the same. Texas State will show pressure one final time. Ball's still loose, out, and out to Texas State.
A little sloppy.
Turnover number 20. Both teams right at 20 turnovers.
Yeah. That'll go on a scouting report, and they won't pay much attention to the last 2 minutes.
Garo the three, the shot clock is off. Wildcats can dribble it out. Impressive win today. Wire-to-wire lead for ACU. They took the early lead. Texas State pushed in the second half. They got within 5. But a 12-2 Wildcat run pushed it back to double digits. And ACU gets their second win of the year. Check that, their third win of the year. They're 3-1. Texas State falls to 2-2. Your final score from Moody Coliseum: ACU 72, Texas State 60. Wildcats shoot just under 50% today, 24 of 49. Texas State 15 of 37, 41%. Quality win for the home team today. Quality win today for the home team.
Oh, absolutely. You caught me napping there for a minute. I was looking at stats. Yeah, this was more than a stat win if you're ACU.
Hunter Jack Madden, 23 points today. He did it on 6 of 8 from threes. 3 of 3 at the free throw line. He's courtside with Daisy Strine. Daisy, it's all yours.
Hunter, you went 6 for 8 on 3-point attempts. Coach Tanner said you're playing with confidence. How did that confidence help you win today?
Confidence as a whole, like we stuck through it. We know we had some bad losses, but we're just learning. We've got a lot of young guys, and we get the confidence back, and we're going to win some games.
You've got 6 games on the road ahead of you. How are you going to take this momentum into the road?
Keep pushing. You know, the job's not done. It was a good win, but we got a lot of good teams coming up, so we're going to flush it, learn from it, and then get back on the grind.
Well, thank you so much. Congratulations. We're going to send it up to Jamison and Roman at the desk. Guys, to you.
Thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Hunter. Amazing win, statement win, like we mentioned there for the Wildcats. You told me at the break, whoever would cross 70 was probably going to pull this one out. And Roman, ACU did that here.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. And just a really great team effort. 24 bench points for ACU, only 3 for Texas State. Just a really great team win. You know, a bit of a yin and yang thing. You know, if someone's not playing well, take them out, put someone else in. They're going to do a good job. And defensively, ACU was so good today, playing that Brett Tanner style of ball that ACU is known for. Really great defensive game and a really great game to set the tone moving forward.
Well, yeah, you talk about 24 points off the bench. We talked to Coach Tanner about getting his guys kind of dialed in, figured out where they fit. But 24 points off the bench is pretty impressive there for ACU. Roman, what do you think going into the final stretch? They talked about, this was the kind of last couple home games here before they go off for a month. What do you think ACU is going to have to do taking it on the road here?
They're just going to need to keep playing the way that they play. I mean, playing good defense, passing the ball, sharing the ball, getting points in the paint, and relying on each other. If they get out of that, that's when they struggle. We saw that against Middle Tennessee. But if they play the way that Coach Tanner wants them to play, and if they execute, they're going to be a really good team and a really tough one to beat.
Yeah, big defensive game here for ACU. That's been all from up here. Jamison Sterrett, Roman Raffelli, Andy and Ron, take it away.
Jamison, Roman, thanks so much as the Wildcats get their third win of the year. 72-60, our final score. Hey, this has been a presentation of the Western Athletic Conference on ESPN. All games are airing live. They're streaming as well on the ESPN app. For the entire crew, Ron Holmes, Daisy Stride, Roman Raffelli, Jamison Sterrett, and the ACUTV crew led by Hutton Harris, I'm Andy Penny. Take care. Good night. So long from Abilene.